Welcome to today's talk. Let's begin by playing a quick little game together. We are going to fill in the blanks. There are 5 fill in the blanks. You have 20 seconds for each question. So make sure you're jotting down your answers or maybe mentally keeping a note of them. So let's begin. Number 1, Americans spend blank billion on yoga classes and equipment each year. So write down your number. Maybe you think Americans spend 5 billion on yoga classes and equipment each year. Number 2, first yoga mat was created in blank. So which year do you think the yoga mat was created in? Number 3, goat yoga originated from blank. I'll give you a hint. It's a state in the United States. Number 4, blank people in the U.S. practice yoga daily. So how many people do you think practice yoga daily in the United States? Number 5, blank is now actively promoted as a sport. Okay, I hope you have jotted down your answers. Now let's see what the answers were. Number 1, Americans spend 16 billion on yoga classes and equipment each year. Number 2, first yoga mat was created in 1982. Number 3, goat yoga originated from Oregon. Number 4, 36 million people in the U.S. practice yoga daily. Number 5, yoga is now actively promoted as a sport. Let us know how you did in the comments below. If you got one right, that's awesome. These were very hard questions, and I myself didn't do so great either. As some of you may know, tomorrow is International Day of Yoga. The idea for an unmandated International Day of Yoga was first proposed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi during his speech at the United Nations General Assembly in 2014. In his speech, Prime Minister Modi called yoga an invaluable gift of India's ancient tradition and called for the harmony between man and nature through yoga. The UN decided the theme this year is Yoga for Well-Being. Since the COVID-19 plight is not just a physical crisis, it has left us lasting impacts on mental health. The United Nations noticed a growing trend of people around the world embracing yoga to stay healthy and rejuvenated to fight social isolation and depression during the pandemic. So yes, we all should do yoga, but where do we start? There are so many different styles of yoga being offered. Vinyasa yoga, Hatha yoga, Iyengar, Kundalini, Ashtanga, Bikram, Yin, restorative yoga. Well, it also depends on our intention. Do we want to do yoga for physical health, mental health, or spiritual health? Or maybe all of the above? So first, let's understand the word yoga. In one word, try to define what yoga means to you. 2 words I hear often are union and postures. Well, let's ask the father of yoga, to whom I would like to pay my respects. He is a fully enlightened sage from India by the name of Maharishi Patanjali, who wrote the Yoga Sutras and other texts. Maharishi Patanjali is a very respected title. Rishi means sage and Maha means utmost. So the greatest sage of sages, Maharishi Patanjali, Sage Patanjali begins by stating that all the limbs of yoga are necessary foundations to reaching the state of self-awareness, freedom, and liberation. You're probably wondering, wait, what? Are we still talking about yoga? You better believe it. Yoga is so much more deeper, more spiritual, more in-depth, more vast, more life-changing than we think. Yoga is a roadmap for our journey to enlightenment. Let's continue to find out what these 8 limbs of yoga are. The first, yama, external discipline. Niyama, internal discipline. Asana, postures to prepare the body. Pranayama, expanding the life force through breathing exercises. Pratyahara, turning the senses inward to explore the inner universe. Dharana, focused attention, training the mind to meditate. Dhyana, a continuous flow, meditation perfected. Samadhi, lost or found in the divine. Union. Patanjali begins the Yoga Sutra shedding light on samadhi. He says through continuous abhyasa and vairagya, meaning continuous practice and non-attachment, one can tread on the path to enlightenment. So let's work backwards for a second to see how we can reach samadhi. Samadhi cannot be attained by oneself. True and correct meditation, dhyana, cannot be attained by oneself. Just as yoga has been distorted and redefined by modern man, so has meditation. There are so many styles and types of meditation. Sage Patanjali is referring to the ancient technique of meditation, which was taught by a perfect master himself, a Satguru. One that is enlightened and has the power to enlighten us and guide us is a guru. Today, we are learning meditation by doing our own research, by reading, by watching YouTube videos, or maybe by attending retreats. Dharana means to concentrate on the divine, to attain a glimpse of the infinite power. Well, how can we concentrate on anything if we have not seen it? Therefore, meditation cannot begin until we have our goal, which is the eternal light of consciousness within. So meditation does not involve imagination. It is about practical experience. You must see before you believe. To go from dharana, dhyan, and samadhi, a Sadguru is needed, who opens up the third eye and activates the pineal gland. This is the start of meditation. It does not begin without the opening of the third eye. If you are seeking a Sadguru, remember, a guru is not just a teacher or a guide. A guru has seen God, experienced samadhi, and has the ability to show you God within this body. That, dear viewers, is our purpose of life. That is our birthright. That experience will change our life. Let's take a look at the yoga wheel again. I will give you a few minutes to take a look at what yama and niyama are. And if you don't understand, it's completely okay. So now that we have an idea of what the first two are, let's now take a look at asanas. So what does the word yoga mean? Postures? No, because Poses or asanas are a part of yoga, not yoga. Asanas are the third limb of yoga. Yoga is a way of life, a discipline that should be practiced to attain universal consciousness. So the word yoga does mean union. Yoga is to unite with a higher supreme consciousness, higher self, divine, or whatever other fancy name we want to use to basically say God. And don't get me wrong, asanas are very crucial to our physical, mental, and spiritual being. Asanas improve strength, balance, and flexibility, help with back pain, heart health. Asanas relax you to help you sleep better. Asanas also help manage stress and improve our mental health and much, much more. So if you practice asanas, that's great. The ultimate goal of yoga is to know oneself within and bring union between the individual self, Atma, and universal consciousness, Paramatma. People are teaching samadhi yoga. Samadhi cannot be attained by attending weekly classes at a yoga studio where you pay monthly and come in your yoga attire and listen to soothing music while you're guided through a 1-hour journey. Samadhi is when the human consciousness merges into the super consciousness. It ends the cycle of birth and death. Freedom is attained and years of mental slavery come to an end, transcending the world and evolving to becoming the super consciousness itself is the ultimate goal. It was the esteemed Swami Vivekananda, an Indian monk and mystic who is credited for bringing yoga to the Western world in the late 1800s. His message was that all beings are an embodiment of the divine self. While Swami Vivekananda stayed in Chicago, he used to go to the library and borrow large volumes of books and return them to the librarian in a day's time. The frustrated librarian then asked Swami Vivekananda why he borrowed books when he doesn't want to read them. She was all the more annoyed when he said he finished reading all those books. She said she would take a test and selected a random page from the book and asked him to tell what was written there. Without even a glance at the book, he repeated the lines exactly as they were written. She asked him several more questions and he answered all of them without a flaw. This ultimate state of concentration and the ability to read huge books in a day's time was by the grace of his guru. Swami Vivekananda and all saints always thank their gurus for their achievements because they know that it would be impossible without their guru's grace. Swami Vivekananda was not fluent in English when he came to the West, but had faith in his guru's words and delivered an amazing speech in Chicago. He let the divine flow through him, and it was flawless. I will reveal a great secret to you today. All the ancient texts speak about the importance of a Satguru, that with the help and guidance of a guru, one can attain liberation. The grace of a guru can change the results of karma, can change destiny. Guru is the bestower of joy, bliss, happiness, and everything else. Guru lives and breathes for his disciples, and his sole purpose is our redemption. He will do anything for it. So to search for a guru will speed up our process to attain full communion with the divine. Maharishi Patanjali attained great heights because he had a spiritual guru. Vivekananda spread spirituality in the West because he was enlightened first with the grace of his guru. So if you are a sincere seeker, know that you may start working on the yoga wheel, but be careful. Do not be fooled by what is out there in the name of yoga, meditation, guru, spirituality. These terms have been misinterpreted and can mislead you. Make sure you first find a true teacher that can wake you up from this deep slumber, help you understand the truth of this world, and attain your goal in life. To speed up your journey and to get proper guidance, you may contact us. All our services are free. As our Guru Maharaji says, there should be no price tags on God. To see God is our birthright. Spirituality is to be of service, to help our brothers and sisters reach freedom. Tomorrow for Yoga Day, let's not just stick to poses, but practice from the yoga wheel and remember what says Patanjali said. Yoga is the practice of quietening the mind. We can wake up and set our intention to try to practice the 8 limbs. That can be by practicing yoga poses, reading a spiritual book, showing some devotion towards a higher power by praying or having a 5-minute conversation with God, practicing non-violence, so not being physically or emotionally violent to anyone or to oneself, and not doing things that will harm your Atma in any negative way. Be joyous, loving, childlike. Let go of judgment and just be free for one day. Dedicate this day to unite with the Supreme. Do what you can to reach God. Sing, dance, just be free. I guarantee your efforts will reap fruit instantly. The moment you put effort to connect with God, you will feel joy overtake your sadness. You will radiate with positivity. Your heart will feel light and filled with love. Give your heart to God for International Yoga Day, because union will happen if you love who you are uniting with. I hope you enjoyed today's talk, and this heightens your spiritual journey. God bless you all. May you find the path that leads to ultimate freedom. Check out our website and follow us for more videos like this. Thank you for letting me be of service to you. Namaste.